The Competition Commission says it's trying to untangle anti-competitive behavior in the liquefied petroleum gas industry. The Commission has released information on collusion and price manipulation in the sector.
South Africa goes through more than 350,000 metric tons of liquid petroleum gas annually. But only a few big players enjoy the profits from that sector in a closed all-boys club. The market currently has 5 local refineries with 4 wholesalers accounting for 90% of the market share. Afrox, Oryx, Easy Gas and Total Gas have been thriving on evergreen supply contracts that block new entrants to the market.
One of the things is just an acceptance that the old relationships have to come into an end. So these wholesalers used to be owned by refineries. They sold them and then they continued with long-term supply relationships with them.
82% of liquid gas is sold through long-term contracts from refineries to selected wholesalers. Some of the agreements go on for as long as 25 years, a practice the Commission wants to reduce to 10 years. These collusive contracts allow wholesalers to maintain high prices that affect the consumer. Households that use gas to cook, for instance, use almost R1 more per kilowatt compared to paraffin and electricity users.
You should be getting the same prices if you go to buy gas from different service stations. But you know, as winter approaches now, we usually get all of a sudden in winter a lot of complaints that there is overpricing.
The Commission's found evidence suggesting collusion among wholesalers who increase cylinder deposit fees. Industry players say it's virtually impossible for new black-owned businesses to get a foot in the door, with the 4 main wholesalers shutting out any competition.
You've got a supply constraint in terms of security, that is in terms of the contract, and yet you expected or required to have the capacity to play in the industry. How are you going to have the capacity if you don't have the basics? How are you going to invest if you have what is required to invest? So it's a chicken and egg situation. I hear the argument of building capacity or emerging players not having capacity. But I think most of the players, to an extent, they can build the capacity. Or in fact, some of them are ready.
Economic Development Minister Ibrahim Patel says he'll be able to report to Parliament in the coming days before meeting with the Energy Department and NERSA about regulation and transformation in the sector. Mateo Khwaripe, Pretoria.
Pharma giant Aspen's welcomed a potential probe into alleged anti-competitive behavior. This comes after reports emerged that it allegedly withheld life-saving cancer medicines to try and drive up prices in Europe by as much as 4,000%. The company says it welcomes the process and the opportunity to categorically